What if I told you the Inca left behind a secret underground system? Not for travel, but for something far more mysterious. A lost technology, a hidden chamber. The truth is more shocking than you think. What happened next will change everything. Before we uncover the truth, I need your help. If this kind of mind-blowing history fascinates you, hit that like button. It tells me you want more secrets exposed. And drop a comment below. What do you think these tunnels were really used for? Your theory might be closer to the truth than you think. For centuries, whispers of hidden tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman have fascinated explorers, historians, and treasure hunters alike. Some believe these underground passages were secret escape routes used by the Incas to outmaneuver the Spanish. Others thought they were vaults, hiding gold and sacred artifacts lost to time. But what if the real purpose of these tunnels had nothing to do with war or treasure? What if they were built for something far more practical, yet just as extraordinary? Back in 2021, I spent countless hours researching these tunnels, piecing together accounts from chroniclers, explorers, and locals. Many dismissed them as myths, just another Inca legend with no real proof. But now, modern technology has changed everything. Ground-penetrating scans have revealed a vast underground network beneath Cusco. These tunnels are real, and what they were actually used for turns our understanding of the Incas upside down. If you're interested in lost history, ancient engineering, and the truth behind one of the greatest civilizations on Earth, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the real purpose of these tunnels, using the latest research and historical evidence. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at Sacsayhuaman the same way again. The idea of hidden tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman is not new. Spanish chroniclers wrote about strange underground passages as far back as the 16th century. Some claimed the tunnels led to secret chambers filled with gold, while others said they were escape routes used by the Incas when the Spanish invaded. But the most chilling stories came from indigenous accounts. Stories of people who entered these tunnels and were never seen again. For centuries, locals spoke of long, winding passageways beneath Cusco, some stretching for miles leading to unknown destinations. Some believed they connected major Inca sites, while others thought they were cursed, swallowing up anyone who dared to enter. Despite these stories, no one could prove the tunnels were real. Archaeologists dismissed them as legends, saying there was no solid evidence to support their existence. Explorers searched for entrances, but even when tunnels were found, they were often blocked by rubble or collapsed passages, making it impossible to confirm how deep they went or where they led. That all changed recently. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar and other scanning technologies, researchers have finally mapped out an extensive underground network beneath Cusco. The results confirmed what many had suspected for years. There is indeed a vast system of tunnels running beneath Sacsayhuaman and beyond. The scans showed clear pathways carved into the rock, some stretching toward the heart of the city. While much of the network remains unexplored, experts now believe these tunnels were carefully engineered by the Incas for a specific purpose. This discovery is huge. For centuries, people doubted these tunnels even existed. Now, with scientific proof in hand, we can finally start to understand why they were built. And as we'll see next, their true purpose is not what most people expected. For years, people have tried to explain why the Incas built these underground tunnels. Two of the most popular theories focus on war and treasure. At first glance, both seem possible. But when you look closer, they don't quite add up. One common idea is that the tunnels were part of a military defense system. Some believe the Incas used them to move troops in secret, hide from Spanish invaders, or launch surprise attacks. It sounds reasonable, but there's a problem. The layout of the tunnels doesn't match what you'd expect from a defensive structure. If the Incas had designed them for war, the tunnels would likely have had multiple exits, hidden chambers, and strategic vantage points. Instead, many of the tunnels are long, straight, and shallow, making them easy to find and difficult to defend. There's no evidence of built-in traps, weapon storage, or anything else that would suggest they were made for battle. Then there's the treasure theory. Some legends claim these tunnels were used to hide gold, sacred codices, or other valuables when the Spanish arrived. While the idea of a hidden Inca vault is exciting, there's little evidence to support it. If the Incas really wanted to keep something secret, they wouldn't have placed it in tunnels that could be easily accessed from above. They were master builders. They knew how to hide things well. Instead of using tunnels, they likely buried treasures in places where they couldn't be found, or carried them deep into the mountains. So if these tunnels weren't for war, and they weren't for treasure, what were they for? The answer is something most people never considered. But when you connect the tunnels to the Incas' advanced engineering and their deep understanding of nature, a much more logical explanation emerges, and it has everything to do with water. If this mystery is touching your heart right now, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. To the Incas, water was more than just a resource. It was sacred. In Andean beliefs, water wasn't just something people drank or used for farming. It was a direct link to the gods. They believed it flowed through the earth like veins in a body, carrying life and energy. Water came from the mountains, the lakes, and the underground springs, all of which were seen as powerful and divine. The Incas didn't just worship water, they controlled it. They built advanced systems to store, move, and distribute it, ensuring their cities and fields never ran dry. Sacsayhuaman, the massive fortress overlooking Cusco, was built on land where natural springs were abundant. Beneath its towering walls and carved stone terraces, water flowed from underground sources, feeding into reservoirs and channels that the Incas carefully constructed. Even today, you can see remains of these water systems, stone-carved channels that directed water to specific areas, proof of the Incas' advanced engineering skills. The presence of these ancient waterworks raises an important question. Could the tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman have been part of this system? Unlike modern plumbing, the Incas didn't use pipes or pumps to move water. Instead, they relied on gravity, designing their infrastructure so that water would naturally flow from higher elevations to lower ones. The tunnels might have been an extension of this method, carrying fresh spring water from the highlands down into Cusco. This would have provided a steady, hidden water supply to the city's people, ensuring they had clean drinking water even during droughts or times of crisis. If true, this would mean the tunnels weren't built for war or treasure. They were built to sustain life. Now that we know these tunnels exist, and now that we see their connection to natural water sources, the real question becomes clear. Were these underground passages the missing piece in the Incas' water management system? And if so, how far did they stretch? Building tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman wasn't just a matter of digging through dirt. The Incas had to work with one of the hardest types of rock, andesite. This volcanic stone forms naturally in the Andes Mountains and is incredibly tough. On top of that, the region is full of natural faults and fractures, making construction even more challenging. But the Incas were master engineers. They didn't just carve tunnels randomly. They carefully planned their paths, using the rock's natural formations to guide water in the direction they wanted. Some sections of the tunnels show signs of deliberate shaping, proving that these weren't just natural caves, they were built with a purpose. One of the most impressive aspects of these tunnels is the precision of their construction. The Incas were famous for their ability to cut and fit stones together so perfectly that even a knife blade couldn't slip between them. This same level of skill appears in their underground structures. Instead of just carving out rough tunnels, they shaped and smoothed the walls to help control water flow. Some sections may have included hidden drainage holes, small openings that allowed excess water to escape, preventing floods and maintaining a steady supply. This kind of system would have been essential for making sure Cusco had reliable access to clean water without the risk of overflow or structural collapse. If we compare these tunnels to other known Inca water systems, the similarities are clear. At Ollantaytambo, the Incas built carefully designed water channels to direct and distribute water efficiently. At Machu Picchu, they created an entire network of fountains and drainage systems that still function today. The tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman seem to follow the same principles, suggesting that they weren't just passageways. They were part of a highly advanced water management system. The more we learn about these tunnels, the more it becomes clear. The Incas weren't just builders. They were problem solvers. They understood the land, they knew how to work with nature rather than against it, and they created systems that could withstand time. These tunnels are yet another example of how their engineering was far ahead of its time. But one question still remains. Just how far do these tunnels go, and what else might be hidden beneath Cusco? If this mystery is touching your heart right, now take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. If these tunnels were built to move water, then the next big question is, where did they lead? Based on modern scans and historical records, it seems clear that the tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman weren't isolated. They connected directly to Cusco, the heart of the Inca Empire. Some researchers believe they stretched beneath key sites in the city, possibly supplying water to important temples, palaces, and public spaces. If this is true, then the tunnels weren't just a side project. They were a vital part of how the Inca capital functioned. The Incas didn't build things randomly. Every structure, every road, every canal had a purpose. Cusco was a city that depended on careful water management. Fresh water had to be brought in from higher elevations, while waste and excess water needed a way to flow out. The tunnels, along with reservoirs and carved stone channels, seemed to fit into this larger system. They allowed the Incas to control their water supply with incredible precision, ensuring the city could thrive even in dry seasons. This wasn't just about convenience, it was about survival. What makes this discovery even more exciting is that we may have only scratched the surface. The tunnels confirmed by recent scans are just part of a much larger network that remains unexplored. There could be even more underground passages waiting to be found, stretching deeper into Cusco or even beyond. Future excavations and technology like ground-penetrating radar could reveal just how vast and advanced this system truly was. For centuries, people have speculated about these tunnels, imagining hidden gold, secret escape routes, or lost chambers. But the truth might be even more incredible. The Incas weren't just warriors or rulers. They were master engineers who built one of the most sophisticated water systems of the ancient world. And as new discoveries continue to unfold, we're only beginning to understand just how advanced their civilization really was. For centuries, stories about the tunnels beneath Sacsayhuaman led people to believe they were hiding something: gold, secret chambers, maybe even an underground escape route. But as it turns out, the real treasure wasn't gold at all. It was water. The Incas knew that controlling water meant controlling life, and these tunnels were likely a key part of their advanced water system. Instead of being a mystery of war or riches, they were a masterpiece of engineering, designed to keep Cusco thriving. This changes everything we thought we knew about the Inca. They weren't just great builders of stone walls and fortresses. They were problem solvers, planners, and visionaries who understood their environment better than most ancient civilizations. They worked with the land, using nature itself to build a system that provided fresh water where it was needed most. These tunnels are proof of just how advanced their knowledge was. And if they were capable of designing something this complex, what else did they build that we haven't discovered yet? With every new finding, we get closer to understanding the true genius of the Inca civilization. But there are still so many unanswered questions. What other hidden structures lie beneath Cusco? How far does this tunnel system really go? And what secrets might still be waiting underground? If this discovery has taught us anything, it's that history still has so much left to reveal. So, if you want to keep uncovering the lost secrets of the ancient world, make sure to subscribe, because this is just the beginning. If this mystery touched you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell us, who was the unsung hero in your life?